So, something very significant concerning the false prophets versus the Lord's true prophet has occurred now. The false prophets, yet another one of their major prophecies has failed. And I actually wanted to title this video, Did You Know You Could Be a Prophet Too? The reason I wanted to do so, because what Timothy Dixon and Bullock had done was they started talking about something they were planning, and understand it was a planning event. This was a staged event of something, and this is what they had to do because all of their Trump prophecies had failed. So they began saying what they were about to do and what they were planning, but they were saying that they were given a vision of this, that this was a prophetic vision given to this. So you too could be a prophet if you have ever staged an event or set a goal to do something and done it, or completed any given task that you had previously set to get done. So this is all that they had done. Just like they don't have churches, they have studios where they record videos after an event has happened and claim that they had prophesied of it when there's no actual time stamp to prove that they did this. They put a time stamp in the video as if it was recorded at a previous date. These are the lying signs and wonders that are spoken of. But what is important to know, that the Lord hath spoken regarding these prophets. So, and this is very significant because there has been this abortion conflict that has been ongoing. This was an active and ongoing conflict as far as it relates to a ban on abortion. And what Timothy and Bullock had done is said that they would go to the Capitol with scrolls of the unborn children that had been killed, and that they would roll those scrolls out and petition the courts, but also the courts in heaven, and that their petition would be granted by God, that the abortion ban would stay in place. And see that the very next day, and you can check this out, and this is again why they don't want you to look at the news, the federal courts overturned this abortion ban. They said it would be granted, and see that it was not granted, proving the Lord does not stand with them, that they are the false prophets. So therefore the Lord has spoken against them. And this would be easy. This is actually easy. And this was why, and this was a very easy way that you knew that Trump would be elected. This was the Lord proving his word, the Holy Bible, which can be found in Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 30 and 31, that God is against the prophets that steal prophecy from another, which means spins the same narrative, which is what they have done, what they all did, all the Trump prophets. And then also the very next verse, verse 31, God is against the prophets that use their tongue and say, saith the Lord, which is also exactly what all the Trump prophets do. So see that he has proven his word 100% accurate, and that he is against them, just as the scriptures I've pointed out state, causing all of their prophecies to fail, proving that he is against them, just as the word states. But there's a deeper understanding behind this, what's going on and what they want to occur. So the importance behind this pro-choice movement versus an abortion ban is, this is the choice. This is your freedom of choice. And don't get it confused, I'm against abortion. But realize this also. Adam and Eve were given a choice, and they chose to sin. And this is exactly how the abortion issue is. These women are given a choice whether they're going to kill their unborn child. That is their sin to carry. That is their given sin to carry. And trust me, they will pay a very dear price for this sin. Because there's nothing God hates more. Trust me, there is nothing God hates more than when you harm a child. So, but that is their sin to bear, their choice to make. Realize that. But the more important thing behind this, and this is why the false prophets are trying to create and help make this abortion ban go into place, is because if they banned abortion, you no longer have freedom of choice over your body. This takes away all freedom of choice over your body. Understand how important that is, people, because that's going to determine and would determine whether you can choose if you want something to go into your body also. Whether this gives you the freedom of choice to decide if you want to be bitten by a serpent and be injected with its poisons. See the significance of this ruling. Understand that these men are only presenting themselves as men of God when their underlying agenda is actually wicked. It's very wicked. So that you will not have the choice whether you want to be bitten by the serpent, whether you want to be marked. That's the freedom of choice. Whether you are going to be allowed to choose if you want to accept the mark or not. That's the bigger thing that's on the table. That's the bigger issue that's on the table right now. And see that God has turned the table on them. See that God stands against these prophets, just as Jeremiah 23 verses 30 and 31 states. God is against the prophets that steal prophecy from another, spin the same narrative, which they all do. And God is against the prophets that use their tongue and say, saith the Lord. Also exactly what they all do. See the truth of the word. See that God stands with you people. And even though you see this as an ungodly thing, and it is the abortion issue, it is their sin to carry. That is their sin to carry. Just as it was the sin of Adam and Eve to carry. That's their burden to bear. But if you lose the choice, the freedom of choice, that means you don't get to decide whether you want to be bitten by a serpent and whether you want to be marked. Be sure to call these false prophets out who are trying to make it or put something in place to where you don't have a choice, to where you have to take the mark and it no longer becomes your choice. Be sure to stay in the word and call these false prophets out, people. God bless.